Yo, what's going on? It's 717, Anointed One, Mr. Kid, the Whiz Kid. You know what it is. But this is my second video. So, I'm still a little rusty, but as I progress, I'm sure I get a lot better and more comfortable recording myself. I've never really done that before. But, like I said, in my first video, I have a message, and I feel like deep in my blood and my intuition, I feel like I've been directed here to deliver this message. But anyhow, let me let the actual message do the talking for me. And this video is basically about portals, stargates, wormholes, time warps, um, time lapses, time loops, vortexes, stuff of that nature. And so, first thing I'm going to talk about is basically portals. You've seen Ricky and Morty, that's how basically they travel is through portals for most of the time. And Doctor Strange, the Marvel comic book character, he learns how to basically, with some type of sorcery or magic, open up portals, send, enemies down it, close it. I remember one part he sent the dude down the portal, close it, dude's arm got chopped off. It's crazy. Another show that's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's actually on there right now. It's actually a really good show. I don't do too much television watching. If I do, I watch a lot of movies. I'm a big movie buff. But Dark is the name of it. Yes, Dark, D-A-R-K. It's on Netflix, and it's about basically a tunnel being excavated, and there's a secret society of ancient, like, wizards or whatever, and they're called the Travelers, and they live for hundreds of years and whatnot, and through some type of, like I said, magic, they create a doorway. They literally have a door that's like made out of some type of stone that has some magical properties. It's a special type of stone or tablet. It's not your average carved out stone or granite. And so in the show, basically this stone has some type of occult, writing on it, specifically placed, in a certain way with some type of Latin dialect or script on it, and maybe even some Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the language of the gods. Could have been something like that on there. Who knows? But all I know is when they added this door to this cave, it created a portal. Created basically a time machine. If you walked through that portal, you ended up in a different day and age. And so throughout the show, you see about 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 different people go through this portal, and most of them end up at different times. There's one character that literally jumps back and forth through all the different timelines. But the weird thing about the timelines is, even though the portal takes you to a different timeline, they all intersect. So if you do something, let's say you got thrown back in 1960 and you did something, it's going to affect people in 1980, 1990 just the same, or in significant, crazy ways that you would have never thought possible if you didn't know about the different timelines. So, talking about that, Stargates, CERN, the Super Hadron fucking collider up in Switzerland. God knows what they're doing over there. Yeah, it's basically a Super Hadron particle collider, banging electrons, protons, neutrons at the speed of light, trying to figure out the atom, the freaking molecule that's smaller than the atom, and basically on their own marketeering and their own image and the occult satanic rituals that they have, that they've done on the opening ceremony and other ceremonies, as well as the goddess Shiva being right there in the front courtyard, in the central courtyard. The goddess Shiva, the god of death, the dancer of destruction. In Hinduism, Buddhism, it's just sitting there. I understand there's a circle that goes around that statue. Maybe they thought it resembled a hadron particle collider, but I don't understand why they would talk about destruction, especially there's that genius kid. Trying to remember his name. Can't really remember his name, but he's like 12. Look it up. He talks about how in 2008, when they let off this hadron particle collider for the first time, it destroyed our universe. But there's so many layers upon layers of other simulated universes and parallel universes. It's just like infinite. So we just merged with another one, supposedly. That's why you see the different things like the Mandela effect. To your research, Sinbad denies it. Supposedly now he's finally admitting it, but he was in like a 1989, 1991 film. Before Kazam, it was Shaq. It was Shazam with freaking Sinbad. I remember seeing it. You can't forget Sinbad's corny ass. But I don't know why. Why did they erase this movie off the face of the map? But I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find that movie. And the clip that you are able to see, you're able to find online. It's like a 2-minute clip. It shows so much Mandela effect residue. It shows Fruit Loops being spelled the proper way, Fruit, not the way it is now, Froot. It shows the Monopoly guy with a monocle. It shows Curious George with a tail. It shows Kit Kat with the dash between Kit Kat. It shows a newspaper. Literally, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. There was a newspaper on the ground of this 2-minute clip of Shazam, and it said Nelson Mandela dead at like 62 or whatever, and bro, that's insane. There's a few other Mandela effects in there. You gotta check it out for yourself. But besides that, it's very possible that they talk about the transcendence and from 3D to 4D to 5D and the way the world's changing and shifting and so much different energies on the poles or whatever. Maybe we are shifting to another parallel dimension. Maybe there are two dimensions bumping into each other until something has to give. So obviously we'll figure that. CERN, I don't trust them. I feel like they talked about opening up portals and basically getting a hold of something, pulling something out of a different dimension. All I know is God says don't mess with things like that, and for all I know, the rumors are that they're unleashing evil spirits, fucking demons, and the way that the world's going since 2008 when that thing was unleashed, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of truth to that. Alright, you see, like I said, this is my second video, so I still wrote a lot of swagger. And alright, so we're gonna talk about some vortexes. Some basically some time loops, maybe a portal to another timeline, another dimension, a whole nother existence altogether, maybe into a void of abyss, who knows. But we're talking about right now. We're talking about the Bermuda Triangle. You know, I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. I've been in the Caribbean. I've been all through that Bermuda Triangle, and thank God I'm still here. But apparently, there's been a lot of lost planes, a lot of lost ships that just will never ever be seen again in those areas. Bermuda Triangle. There's also a Bermuda Triangle similar to something in the Japan Sea as well as the Baltic Sea. And probably a lot more in other places. There's probably places in like Romania, Transylvania in the forest, bro. You go down that forest, go through the fog. Peace, bro. They'll never see your ass again. But so yeah. I was basically, if you want to talk about time warps, time glitches in the matrix, where people have stories where they've lost hours and even days, and the world that they knew like somehow switched, and they were like lost and confused and scared at the same time, and then it all went back to normal. You know, I'm a little skeptical about that, but I have had a little bit of experience with some glitches, small things, something it's hard to explain, something you gotta experience. I believe that a lot of these other intelligent sentient beings, these aerial entities, UFOs, whatever you want to call them, you know, I believe that my intuition tells me that there's hundreds of species out there in outer space out there. Space is big, and basically, I believe that the way that they travel through space is through wormholes. I don't think that they bend space and time. I think that they're able to travel thousands, millions of light years through the cosmos through wormholes, and you know, if they're technologically sophisticated to have crafts that fly with no sound, no engine, no wings, and can move basically however they want to. And I'm sure they have the technology to find wormholes, stargates, to just zoom, zoom, end up in this planet, this galaxy, this dimension, hit another wormhole, boom, boom, zoom, zoom. Kind of like a black hole, except black hole has a suicide mission. We don't know what the hell's on the other end of that. That's scary. Event Horizon. Word. Alright, so, you know, if I had to guess, if a time machine was to be built, if it hasn't been invented or it doesn't exist yet, which I wouldn't put anything past it if it did exist, but I believe that it would have to involve, you know, like a shuttle, a vessel, some type of element, and a way to just bend the fabric of space and time, or stretch it, rip it, whatever the hell. You know, I don't think time is linear the way we've been taught in school. I believe it's circular, which means, you know, history repeats itself, you know the saying. And I believe it can bend. And the past can affect the future, and the future can affect the past. It's you know, there's just people that have more professional at speaking of such matters as that. I'm not an expert at none. You know, I know a lot of things, that, like I said, through intuition, got a lot of knowledge to share. And so let's see what we're going to talk about here. Alright, so yeah, I was talking about, like, who's to say we haven't already shifted to another dimension. Alright, we're going to talk about, you know, like that book, Missing 411. all the people and all, mainly kids, that go missing in these national parks. It's like an astonishing amount of number, hundreds of thousands, maybe a million at this point since the 70s, 60s, or whatever. Since he kept track, I need to read that book. But I know, I know the gist of it. And basically, people vanish, mainly kids, without a trace. Just gone. Fine. 1 minute they're there, next minute they're not. It's not just kids, it's adults too. You know, it's usually younger people, teenagers, and younger, but it's happened to adults as well. And most of the time, these people are never found again. But sometimes, in the act of a miraculous event, these people just appear out of nowhere, basically naked. Um, because one of the characteristics of these people's vanishing is their clothes is just sitting in like a nice pile, as if they just vanished into thin air. And basically, a large theory is that there's, in these parks and these certain places are high energy fields, you know, um, basically portals. And people possibly walk through these portals or stargates into another timeline, another dimension, who knows? And will never to be seen again, not necessarily died or had a bad demise, but there is a darker theory to a lot of these missing children. But that's for another video. We will talk about that. Alright, so talk to you about certain portals, all that good stuff. Some examples would be, man-made portals, like in that movie I told you about, Dark, or some type of magician or sorcerer doing, summoning something or doing a spell and opening up a portal, a gateway. That stuff kind of terrifies me. I don't want to mess with people that do stuff like that, to be honest with you. If I come across a portal naturally through the Earth's energetic field, that's cool with me. I'm not messing with other people creating portals in these underground black ops, black budget, dark government, shadow government. Who knows what the hell they're doing down there? But what I'm going to talk about is Peru. I read a book called The Celestine Prophecy, and it talks a lot about Peru and the Mayans and the Incans and these high energetic fields that are located in these mountainous areas in Peru that supposedly ascended masters have went from human form and transcended into something far beyond our understanding, into another plane of existence. Whether they left their body or not, I would think they did, but like I said, I'm not an expert, and there's a lot of things that I don't know, that I'm still need to learn, and the world is crazy. Reality is stranger than fiction, for real. And I'm talking about these portals in Peru. These are kind of like ancient devices, ancient stone, ancient temples, ancient mounds, and just like the pyramids, in Egypt, those are known to be very high energetic areas, and some of those pyramids are thought to possibly be portals, or are portals to another world, another gateway of existence. But right now I'm talking about the portals of Peru. We got God's Gate. The God's Gate is I believe that's the one that's it's like a doorway that just carved into that huge mountain. Just like it's like a huge mountain, and it just looks like a door that's been sealed. Like, I don't know whether they're keeping us out or keeping something in, but that door, like that portal, is sealed, and that's known as the God's Gate. And They also have the Sun Temple, which is a Incan, mysterious Incan portal leading to other worlds. Not to mention the myth that ancient Mayans and Inca. Well, I added this because this is a myth that I've heard from many sources, and it's just a theory, a myth. Has no substance or physical proof. But there's a myth that the Mayans and the Incans were actually, teleported and taken up like a mothership, or taken to another dimension or existence, or a whole nother world, a whole nother star system, for all I know. But that is a myth. And one of the other places by Lake Titicaca, and it's an energy portal, and it's known as the gateway to the gods, or the gateway to the sun. And that's what those two huge pillars. It's like a thing across. It looks like a sun, and when the sun rises every day, it shines right through it. That's known as the gateway to the gods. And there's actually, a lot more examples of these type of things. And what else was I talking about? I wrote some notes here. This is my second video. Just bear with me. Like I said, over time, it's all gonna flow. It's all gonna flow, baby. But yeah, basically, what I was gonna say is, there's things like CERN where things can be unleashed, but there's nothing that can go back into that once they're unleashed. And then vice versa, there's portals where you go somewhere, kind of like what I was talking about, the black hole, and there's no necessarily coming back. These are these crazy conspiracies, these supposed time travel agents who are here now and have been to the future and are warning us about this, that. I don't know. I just heard that on YouTube. I didn't hear it from any legible sources. And that's real. And the last thing I'm going to talk about with portals is basically, alright, let's say as an example, I just live a regular life routine, go to work, go to school, come home, watch some TV, do some homework, talk to some friends on social media. Lord knows I'm trying to stay away from that, even though I'm on a media platform right now. But yeah, let's just say you're just average Joe, and you're from New York City. You go out on the town, and you meet some really well-to-do, wealthy, status quo, high baller type people, and these people invite you into the VIP. Okay, it's not in the VIP. You're drinking. They like you. You get along with them. They invite you to some penthouse party down the road. You go to the penthouse party. Now you're up with the upper echelon, the A-list people. You're acting your best. You're not used to this. Everything's weird. And but you're loving it, obviously. Well, most people would. Some people would hate it. So now you're balling with the upper echelon people that are popping champagne, and then they invite you a private jet to a mansion party in Beverly Hills. You gotta remember, Cali's 3 hours difference earlier. So let's say it's 4 in the morning in New York. It's only 1 in the morning in Cali. Hop on a jet. Now you're in Cali, Malibu party. It's crazy. People sniffing coke off of girls' tits. You know how Cali is. Los Angeles. Los Angeles, for real. But on another note, so now you're in a party in Beverly Hills, balling. You're seeing famous people, things that you thought you'd never see. You're seeing, because these rich people are crazier than you know. But so whatever. Then from that party, they invite you on a super yacht for a week through Italian Peninsula, Monaco, whatever. So you go on that. But long story short, those people were a portal, because you went from your ordinary Joe life to some craziness. Those people were a portal and opening a doorway for you to go somewhere else. Every day is portals and doorways, and you have to choose your path wisely, because another one is not promised. You know what I'm saying? God bless. It's 717, the anointed one, Mr. Kid, Hoot Kid, I'm the Coop Kid. You know what I'm saying? Hotter than wonton soup, matzo ball soup. 717, the anointed one. Stay prayed up. I pray your way.